welcome back to my channel. It's been a little minute. I want to jump right into this film, or this review of this film, Seven Prisoners, on Netflix. The same person that directed City of God also directed this movie, and it takes place in Brazil, just like City of God. So this movie is about human trafficking. Now, a lot of times, I'm messing with my phone here. It fell off the first time I tried to film. When we think about human trafficking, a lot of times we think about sex trafficking, girls and women and boys too, being pretty much sex slaves. And that's what we think about human trafficking. But we don't think about human trafficking in the sense of, you see a group of people working, people that work in hair salons having to braid hair all day for free. Like, this stuff happens all around. Actually, we used to be Facebook friends with a guy that was telling me about a restaurant in Maryland, where he's from, that was operated by a religious cult, I guess. And come to find out, they had children working there for free. So it's all around us. We just don't know it. So the thing about this movie, let me just give you a brief about it. Okay. So basically, these group of guys, young guys, teens, I believe, maybe 20. The main character was 18. They got this job offer in Sao Paulo. I hope that's how you say it. If not, I'm sorry. Sao Paulo, Brazil. And they're from like the outskirts, the country part of Brazil. So they're in this big city looking for job opportunities to help their family. So they start working for this guy. Little do they know, they're actually being like sold to him. The main character, who was very rebellious at first, he was the main one that was like, look, I need to see when we're getting paid. The guy tried to make him stop eating his lunch to do some work. He said, look, I'm still eating lunch. Like, he was the main one that was like, yo. He got beat up so many times because of it. And long story short, he actually ends up becoming like an overseer. And anybody that's not familiar with that, an overseer is basically someone who is also in captivity, but they kind of have a little bit more freeway. You know what I'm trying to say? They have a little bit more freedom per se, by pretty much watching the other enslaved people. So he turned into an overseer, and he got to, instead of sleeping in the bunks with the guys, he got to sleep right outside the boss's bedroom, on a couch. And he still, of course, I want to talk about this divide and conquer thing because it's very real. I actually dealt with this at a job once, but he, it basically turned into him, the boss man, pretty much like, watch them. And it got so deep. I'm sorry, y'all. And I'm still not editing videos. I just be going off the seat of my pants. But it got so deep that he actually accompanied him to get more people that were trafficked from other countries. They had a guy from Haiti, a few people from, I don't think any of them spoke Portuguese, maybe one. But the other two people were like from Spanish-speaking countries. He went with them and he told him, he said, you pick out the 3 guys that are going to be coming with us to work. And it's trying to get my thoughts together. So basically it ends with the boss guy was like, look, I'm selling this little factory, because they had them doing like manual labor stuff. He said, I'm selling this place. He said, I have a job for you, an actual job where he will get paid. He said, you can either stay here or take that job. Now, staying there meant he would be, again, still in bondage. At that point, he had I think he was trying to tell himself and the guys that he came in there with, I'm going to try to break us out of here. I just got to play the role. I got to play the game. But in the end, he did choose that job. And I appreciate that ending because it's realistic. Because a lot of people that look at slavery, Atlantic slave trade, they'll say stuff like, well, like the whole Kanye West thing where he said it lasts for 400 years, it sounds like a choice to me. First of all, taking this movie into consideration, these are people who were free people who got tricked into bondage. The first generation of enslaved Africans that were over here, I'm pretty sure theirs was, I don't want to say worse than the generations after them, but they did know freedom at a point. But just imagine you being born into it and that's all you know. Are you really going to be quick to go away, to run away? Like, they weren't taught to read. Who was going to hire them? I just feel like when it comes to slavery, people are so quick to say, well, why don't you just leave and do what? Be realistic. Like, in this movie, 7 prisoners, a few of them tried to escape. When they tried to escape, they got the crap beat out of them. Before the guy turned into the overseer and they tried to escape that very first time, they had to go without showers for weeks, plus still work. Go without showers for a week, go without food sometimes, and there were times when the boss man sent him out on errands and he could have left. Like, there was this one scene in the movie where he was picking up like a few $1,000s from one of the other traffickers to give to his boss. And the car was running, the keys went in, he had a crap load of money like this big. He could have dipped, but he didn't. And a lot of people say, man, I would have dipped. But it's like, it's the fear of getting caught because some of the police were in on it. You never know what's in on it. It makes me think, when it comes to this human trafficking thing, whether it's sex slavery, whether it's people working wherever, sweatshop, wherever, the mental part of it, being scared to leave, where are you gonna go? I think it's so easy, because I think a lot of times, when I'm talking to a few other Black Americans, they tend to look down on people that were in slavery, in bondage, saying that they should have left. So I appreciate this movie keeping it real, showing the psychological control that you can have over somebody. The fact that he sent him on many errands by himself. This happened during the Atlantic slave trade. They would send so-and-so up the street on a horse to get so-and-so because that mental, not mentalness, you know what I'm trying to say, control is so real. And it was hard to watch. It was on my Netflix list for a few months, and it was really hard to watch, to just watch these guys thinking that they're just going to do a job for a few weeks and return back home, and then to realize they are slaves. They are in bondage. They belong to this guy, and who knows where else they're going to be in life. And it happens all the time. Unfortunately, it's very hard to see who is in this and whatnot, but shout out to the director of this film. The guy that did City Guys did this as well. As you all know from watching my channel, I love international films. I will definitely be reviewing some more. And like I said, I gotta watch it on subtitles. I can't do dub, baby. It's available in dubbed if you want to watch it on Netflix, but I personally would rather just read the bottom of the screen for a second and hop back up. But anyway, it was nice talking to y'all. Please check out 7 Prisoners on Netflix. Hop in them comments and let me know what you think. What do you think? Do you feel like if you were in a situation where you were tricked into a job and come to find out you're now enslaved to somebody, would you run? Would you just say, forget it, if I gotta take a bullet in the head, I'm out of here? What would you do? All right, let me know. Peace and blessings as always. Good one.